Can you imagine walking into a place where you're supposed to feel powerful, only to realize how small and disconnected you've become? What if the choices you made in life were about to confront you face to face, forcing you to see what you've been missing all along? This story is for you, yes you. The person who's scrolling through this right now looking for something real, something raw, something that hits home. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to hit that like button. It tells me I'm doing something right, and honestly, it makes my day. Now tell me this, are you watching from your phone while waiting for your coffee order in Seattle? Maybe you're stretched out on your bed in Sydney, trying to unwind after a long day. Or perhaps you're standing somewhere unexpected, headphones plugged in, soaking up these words as they unfold. Wherever you are, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know. And hey, don't forget, this story was written with you in mind. You deserve every bit of it. Let's talk about someone named Walter Pembroke. He's the kind of man who wears suits so sharp they could cut glass. Walter runs one of the biggest beverage companies in the world, but lately he's been feeling uneasy. His board meetings feel hollow, his decisions seem robotic, and deep down, there's a nagging suspicion that he doesn't truly understand the people who drink his products every single day. So he decides to go undercover, not because he has to, but because he needs answers. Answers to questions he can barely admit to himself. Walter walks into one of his own stores disguised as an average customer, wearing faded jeans and a hoodie 2 sizes too big. His plan is simple: buy a soda, observe quietly, and leave unnoticed. But when he steps up to the fountain machine, 2 employees catch his attention. They're chatting behind the counter, unaware of his presence. Their voices carry just enough weight to make Walter pause mid-pour. One of them says, "I heard the boss never even tastes our drinks. Can you believe that?" The other laughs bitterly and replies, "Why would he? He's probably sipping champagne while we're stuck here making minimum wage." That comment freezes Walter in place. A chill runs down his spine, not because of the insult, but because he knows it's true. For years, he's let others handle the details, focusing instead on profits and spreadsheets. Suddenly, those numbers seem meaningless compared to the reality staring him in the face. Let's dive further into what happens next. The store is bustling with activity. Families rush past, kids tug at their parents' sleeves, and cash registers beep rhythmically. Walter tries to shake off the unease settling in his chest, but it clings to him like static electricity. He finishes pouring his soda and takes a hesitant sip. It's cold, fizzy, and surprisingly refreshing, a stark contrast to the bitter taste lingering in his mind. As he stands there pretending to browse snacks, his eyes drift back to the 2 employees. One of them, a young woman named Tessa, looks exhausted. Her dark hair is tied into a messy bun, strands escaping around her face. She moves quickly, restocking cups and wiping down counters with practiced efficiency. The other employee, a guy named Leo, leans against the wall, scrolling through his phone during a rare lull. He's tall and wiry, with a scruffy beard and a baseball cap worn backward. Despite their differences, they share a bond, an unspoken camaraderie born from shared struggles. Tessa glances over at Leo and sighs. "You know," she says softly, almost to herself, "I used to think working here would be temporary, just until I saved enough for school." She pauses, biting her lip before continuing. "But now, I don't even know anymore. Every paycheck feels like it slips through my fingers before I can blink." Leo nods without looking up. "Tell me about it. My sister keeps asking why I haven't moved out yet. Like it's easy when rent eats half your income." He finally lifts his gaze, meeting hers with a wry smile. "Maybe someday things will change. Until then, we keep showing up." Walter listens intently, each word piercing deeper than he expects. These aren't just complaints, they're truths laid bare. Truths he's ignored for far too long. He wants to step forward, to explain everything, but fear holds him back. What would they say if they knew he was the boss they criticized moments ago? Would they lash out, laugh, walk away? Instead, Walter watches silently as Tessa grabs a cloth and starts cleaning the soda fountain. She hums softly under her breath, a melody both fragile and defiant. It strikes him how much effort goes into maintaining this space, the endless cycle of tidying up spills, refilling ice bins, ensuring customers leave satisfied. Effort he's taken for granted. "Hey," Leo calls suddenly, snapping Walter out of his thoughts. "Did you hear about the new flavor coming out? Supposedly some big launch happening soon." Tessa rolls her eyes. "Yeah, like anyone cares. Half the stuff upstairs doesn't even listen to us anyway. We're just cogs in the machine." Her words sting more than Walter anticipates. Cogs in the machine. Is that really how his employees see themselves? How he sees them? He clenches his fists inside his hoodie pockets, guilt gnawing at him like a persistent ache. Later that evening, Walter sits alone in his office, staring at the city lights outside his window. The soda cup from earlier sits untouched on his desk, condensation pooling beneath it. His mind replays the conversation between Tessa and Leo over and over again. Each replay feels heavier than the last. For the first time in years, he considers calling it quits, not the company, but the version of himself that allowed this disconnect to happen. The next morning, Walter does something unexpected. Instead of heading to another high-stakes meeting, he returns to the same store. This time, he doesn't hide. He walks in confidently, dressed in his usual tailored suit, and asks to speak with the manager. When Tessa and Leo spot him, confusion flickers across their faces. "I wanted to thank you," Walter begins, his voice steady despite the nerves bubbling beneath the surface, "for reminding me of something important." Tessa crosses her arms, skeptical. "What's that?" "That no matter how successful a company becomes, it means nothing without the people who bring it to life." Walter meets her gaze, then Leo's. "And I owe you both, and everyone else here, an apology. I've been blind to what really matters." Leo raises an eyebrow. "So what? You're gonna start paying us more or something?" Walter chuckles softly. "Not exactly. But I promise you this, changes are coming. Starting today, I'll be visiting stores like this one regularly. Listening. Learning. Because if I don't, then none of this," he gestures around the room, "is worth it." For a moment, silence hangs heavy in the air. Then Tessa smiles faintly, a spark of hope igniting in her expression. "Well," she says, "that's a start." Months later, Walter implements sweeping changes across the company. Employee wages increase, benefits improve, and feedback sessions become mandatory. Most importantly, he ensures that every decision reflects the values of the people who make it all possible. As for Tessa and Leo, they notice the difference almost immediately. Shifts feel less grueling, opportunities arise, and for the first time in ages, they dare to dream again. Walter often visits their store, always stopping by the soda fountain to chat. Over time, they form an unlikely friendship, one built on mutual respect and understanding. Here's the lesson, friends. Success isn't measured by numbers or titles. It's measured by the impact you have on others. If you felt unseen or unheard, remember this, your voice matters. And if you're in a position to lead, never forget the power of listening. Now tell me, what did you think of Walter's journey? Have you ever felt invisible, like Tessa and Leo? Or maybe you've been in Walter's shoes, realizing too late what truly matters. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And wherever you're watching from, whether it's a cozy corner in Canada or a bustling cafe in Brazil, I want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories crafted just for you. Thank you for being here.